Great, welcome to day 13 of your NTI work. Today, here are your options. You may work on a math sheet for math, or you may do your 30 practice minutes on Freckle. Reading, you'll have your passage. Social studies is incorporated with that too, or you can review Mission US like normal. You should have been working on your president project and your project for apples. So your reading for social studies / reading today was about Swamp Fox. And then you had your questions. Math today, you have to multiply some fractions here. So let's look at a couple examples. The first one is 2/3 times 4/5. 2/3 times 4/5. Okay, so when you're multiplying fractions, you don't have to do any of the keep, change, flip, or anything like that. You just multiply across. So 2 times 4 here, that's 8. And 3 times 5 is 15. Now, because these numbers have no numbers in common, to make them into a more simple form, this is it. So 2/3 times 4/5 is 8/15, and you're finished with that. Okay, another problem, let's see here. Let's look at 5/9 times 12. Okay, so 5/9 times 12. Okay, so if you remember, I told you if you have a whole number, there's always an invisible 1 over it. I'm actually going to get rid of that big 12 and put it over 1. 12 over 1. And then same thing, multiplying across. So 5 times 12 is 60. And 9 times 1 obviously is 9. Now, this here is your improper fraction. We don't like those. Okay, so I know that 9 times 7 is 63. So that's too high. So I know here I at least have 6 as my whole number. So what I'm going to do is see how many times 9 can go into 60. And we already know that's 6, obviously. Okay, so 9 times 6 is 54. So then I would just do 60 minus 54, which would give me the difference of 6. So then this 6 here, that's my leftover, or my parts of the whole, which then becomes my numerator. So my answer now is 6 6/9, which technically is acceptable, but like I said, you always want to put your fraction into its simplest form. So my 6 for my wholes would stay. Okay, or sets of 9 rather. Okay, then I have 6/9 as the fractional part. I know that both of these numbers can be divided by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. So my product here of multiplying 5/9 times 12 would result in 6 2/3. I'll go ahead and do another one with you. Okay, let's see here. See if there's anything funky. Okay. Let's see. How about 3/8 times 16/21? This one's a little bit harder just because of the bigger numbers. So I said 3/8 times 16/21. Okay. So we have 3 times 16, which is 48. Okay, then you'll have 21 times 8. Okay, so the way that I would do this, because I'm not going to know 21 times 8 off the top of my head, I would make it a little bit easier and do 20 times 8, which is 160. And then, because I have one more set of 8 that I need to add to that, just do 160 plus 8 to result in 168. Okay, so this is a huge fraction with really, really small parts. So let's see if we can do some reducing here to make it a little bit more simple to look at. So I know that I can divide 48 by 4 as well as 168. So 48 divided by 4 is 12, and 168 divided by 4 is 42. Okay, so that's a little bit easier to look at, but that is not your final answer, believe it or not. What we need to do here is then further reduce. So, okay, right off the bat, I can tell that I can at least divide these numbers by 2, which would get me 6, and that would get me 21. Okay, then guess what? You get to keep going. I know you're stoked. I can feel it. Okay, then you would divide both of these numbers by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 21 divided by 3 is 7. And that right there is what your final answer would be. Okay, so in doing this problem, I went from multiplying 3/8 by 16/21 to get me a product of 48 over 168. That is a crazy looking fraction. Then we simplified by dividing by 4. Then we got this answer here of 12/42, but then we realized that that was still too big and could further simplify it into 6/21. We did that by dividing both numbers by 2. We realized again that we could divide a little bit more to make it even more simple, and divided both our numerator and our denominator by 3 for a final answer of 2/7. Okay, so that was day 13. If you need any help with that, just let me know. You can send me a dojo message or an email.